the January 22nd Finance Committee. I now call this meeting to order. Please be advised that FATV is conducting an audio and video recording of this meeting for public broadcast. I ask anyone else in the audience who's recording this meeting to please identify themselves for the record now by standing and stating your name and city of residence. Seeing no one at this time, I ask that all electronic devices be placed into silent mode. I'm joined today by my colleagues on the committee, Councilors Walsh, Varela, and Councilor Boschman, who is sitting a little further away tonight as he's a little under the weather, so he will not sit there in the future for the record. Before we get going into our agenda, I do just want to make a couple comments. As this is my first meeting as chair, I want to thank President Sorella for his trust and faith in me. And I'd like to also, thank Chair Di Natale for his many years of hard work and service in the role. It was a privilege to learn from him for my time on the council. His diligence and work ethic was really unmatched, and his courage to hold people accountable as well is something that I would try to emulate. So thank you to Councilor Di Natale for his many years of service. And let's get going, shall we? The first item on the agenda is an order that was recently put in and added today, 006-25. Order that the Honorable Mayor Squalia, Samantha M. Squalia, is authorized to execute a memorandum of agreement between the City of Fitchburg and the Fitchburg Police Union. And here to speak on that today we have, I believe, Chief Martineau in his final appearance coming before the Finance Committee. I had an honor to start when you're on your way out. So
thank you.
Thank you as well for your many years.
And congratulations, Mr. Chair. I'm sure you're going to do some great things in your role as the Finance Chair, and you've got a really big year ahead of you in the city. So I have no doubt that the finance team is in well hands with you at the helm. So congratulations, sir. I'm here to speak specifically about this order because I've put a lot of work into this order in the last 6 months. So I am requesting the transfer of $75,000 from within my budget, within the police budget itself. This transfer will be coming from personal services for patrolmen, and we will be putting it into a revolving account established by the City of Fitchburg. This revolving account will allow us to make timely payments to our police officers who are working extra paid details, whether they're paid details for city details for sewer separation or private details. Our city does well over $1 million a year plus in private details. Now keep in mind, out of those private details, we're also charging a 10% admin fee. So there's a substantial amount of money that comes in and goes out on a timely basis. With the creation of this revolving account, this will allow us to pay our employees in a timely manner. As we speak now, some of our officers may work a detail today. It may not get paid for 3 months down the road. We go as far as 90 to 120 days, depending on the vendor. We're very fortunate. We're very proactive on billing, but you know how that is when you're dealing with vendors. You just don't get paid in a timely manner. So with the creation of this memorandum that I sat down, worked collectively with the union, we thought this was in the best interest of not only the City of Fitchburg, but the police union itself, and it will provide our membership timely payment when they're working details. I'd be happy to answer any questions the councilors may have regarding this memorandum and answer any questions you may have.
I make a motion we accept.
Second.
On the motion.
On the motion.
Councilor Walsh.
Chief, I just want to thank you for bringing this forward. I think that, you know, when you see people out in weather like this or in the heat of summer and they're standing directing traffic and making sure that everybody's safe, I think they should get paid in a timely manner just like everybody else.
I do too.
So I think that this is only fair.
I do too. And it's never a great time to be moving money around. We know how tight and constrained the budget is, but we're very fortunate that because of vacancies, we had this opportunity from within our budget to make this type of movement. But I agree with you, and thank you for those comments.
Thank you.
Councilor Zarella.
Thank you. I just want to echo what I said last night at Public Safety, which is I'm very pleased when I see labor and management coming together like this to a mutually satisfactory resolution. Everything works best when people collaborate rather than seeing things as an adversarial competition. And that is, again, something I've come to be able to expect from the police department, and I'm pleased to see that continue.
I agree. Thank you. Thank you, Councilor.
Additional questions or comments from councilors?
I just want to say one thing. I want to give you a gift. That's where I'm giving you a hard time tonight.
You want to? You know what? I am truly going to miss our conversations, but now I can watch them on TV.
I'll be brief. I had some serious trepidations about not paying our employees on time. We need to do that. We need to honor the hard work and sacrifice they make, like Councilor Walsh mentioned. But the decision for me to create an escrow account, in order to do so, raised some concerns to me. So I'm glad to hear that it's remaining in the police budget as a transfer of funds. And Auditor Cronin informed me that this should last a while and not be something that we're consistently putting money in. In a time when in a few months we're going to be looking to maybe cut some things and to pull back.
Yeah.
I certainly would not want to create anything that we have to continue to fund on a regular basis, on an as-needs basis. So
Yep.
I was glad to hear the changes that were made. And I think we have a motion on the table. Do I have any objections on the motion? Seeing none, it is approved.
Thank you. And I'd just like to make one final comment. There was a lot of people that were instrumental in getting to this point. Ms. Cronin was extremely instrumental providing us with, raw data on what we had, the mayor's office, and our legal team. So there was a lot of people working hard on this, and this just concludes tonight with the passage through the Finance Committee. So I thank you, and I thank everyone that had a hand in this. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief Marno.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to take 005-25 out of order as it directly pertains to 006, which we just took up.
Thank you for reminding me. Yes, this motion in question is just a bit of housekeeping to do it properly and do it right. It's 005-25. The City of Fitchburg hereby transfers $75,000 from Police Personal Services Patrolmen to the Police Detail Escrow Fund. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion we accept.
I have a motion and a second. Seeing no objection, it is approved. Thank you, President Zarella, for reminding me.
No problem.
And of course, in my first meeting as chair, I was going to make a mistake. I forgot to mention that there's no one currently here to speak, but I neglected to ask if anyone would like to. So I apologize for that. We'll move on to the next agenda item. 003-25, the City of Fitchburg hereby approves the expenditure of grant funds from the Mass DEP FY25 Sustainable Material Recovery Recycling Program Recycling Dividends Fund in the approximate amount of $30,000 for the purpose of said grant, which is to implement specific programs and policies to maximize reuse, and waste reduction of curbside and drop-off proposal in Fitchburg. We have Director Curry here to speak on the order.
Good evening, councilors. Councilors, this funding has become an annual so-called gift from Mass DEP. Some of the expenses that these funds support, they support our landfill entry permit scanning program, which we plan on upgrading once again this year, very shortly actually, to a barcode scanning system. Last summer, Inspector Tantanau issued over 400 compost bins, the compost bins to residents. That was a very successful program, and much of the funding came from this grant. Mattress recycling. This grant helps keep a lot of our mattresses off the streets. As we all know, they seem to grow in all kinds of crevices.
Ward 3.
It funds recycling carts in the park, kitchen scrap buckets. Something new this year, this grant will fund, which we will take full advantage of, is security cameras for illegal dumping. It also funds our online app for trash and recycling. I'm sure you folks are familiar with that, as well as many of the programs over the years is to help increase participation with recycling. Just a couple of notes of what this grant has done for us.
Thank you, Director Curry. Councilor Kuchar has joined us. Councilor, welcome, and welcome to the Finance Committee. Do I have questions from committee members? Councilor Boschman.
You say cameras. If we put cameras in, are we going to fine them heavily? Not just $50?
We will take the appropriate measures according to applicable laws. So, yes.
All right. So we're going to work on the cameras first, because we got Ward 3, Ward 2's got a lot of areas where they just keep on dumping.
Yes, the struggle right now is we already do have cameras, and Chief Martineau has actually lended one of his cameras to us. The struggle we're having right now is a bucket truck. The DPW bucket truck is down. So we're searching for ways to get those cameras up in the air where they need to go, but yes, we will definitely, with these funds, concentrating on getting more cameras up.
Okay.
Councilor
Yield the floor.
Director Curry, I thought the landfill already went to a barcode scanning last year.
It did. We are trying to improve on the system. It was a little tough. The scanner system was a little tough to read. You had to almost be right up on top of the permit on the vehicle with the scanner and pretty much stand on your head and touch your nose. It wasn't a smooth process, but the new scanners that have come in are a lot better at picking up the barcode on the permits from a little bit of a distance. So it'll be a bit of an improved system.
Now, in regards to the scanning process, just recently I paid the extra money, and instead of just dumping it on the side of the road, I actually brought my mattress to the landfill. But I had to bring the actual written permit. Is there any way to be able to upload that to the system so when you go, you can see that they have a permit for a mattress on that particular day?
So you must have did it online?
Yes.
Okay. And you printed your own permit for your particular item?
Yes.
Okay. We will definitely look into expanding on that. So the answer to your question is yes.
I
don't know if the technology's quite there yet, but if it is, we will certainly.
My theory is if we make it easier on the residents to be able to drop off mattresses or whatnot, there'd be less illegal dumping. Of course, there are some people that just refuse to pay the $35 extra in order to drop off a mattress, but
It's actually cheaper at tough stuff. The whole idea is to go to tough stuff.
okay, well, thank you for that.
Sure.
I'll keep that in mind. All right, I yield the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Kuchar. We certainly want to see the mattresses and the dumping things removed as best we can. So glad to hear that. Do I have a motion?
So
Motion
moved.
to approve.
We have a motion and a second. Seeing no objections, it is approved.
Thank you, councilors.
Thank you, Director Curry. Our next item, 004-25. The City of Fitchburg hereby approves the expenditure of funds from the Department of Justice Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistant Grant in the approximate amount of $19,287 for community policing efforts. We have Captain Garcia with us today. Thanks for being here, Captain.
Good evening, councilors. Just a brief overview. This is the Justice Assistance Grant. Typically, we receive this annually. We use these funds in a couple different areas. This year, our plan is to use about 50% of the funds to upgrade some technology advancements at this police station. Our training room hasn't been upgraded in over 8 years. We're also looking to add some additions to our roll call room and our conference room at the station. The other 50% we'd use for community policing funding that allows us to do walking Main Street patrols, and it also supplements some of the costs for Civic Days. As you know, Civic Days is a big event in the city, requires a pretty good police presence there, and this grant allows us to pay for those officers who are deployed on that day.
Thank you. Questions for Captain Garcia?
Motion to accept.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Seeing no objection, it is approved. The next agenda item is 010-25. Order the City of Fitchburg hereby approves the expenditure of Violence Against Women Act grant funds in the approximate amount of $73,941 and $70 for the purpose of continuing the Police Department's Civilian Domestic Violence Advocate Program. I got a lot of mouthfuls today for my first meeting. Captain Garcia.
Brief overview on this grant. This grant comes out of the Executive Office of Public Safety. It's a state grant. We've been fortunate to have this grant for the last 15 years. This grant pays for our domestic violence advocate. Dahid Figueroa is our current advocate. She's wonderful. It'll pay for her salary, her fringe benefits, and it'll also pay for her supplies and some of the domestic violence events that she does over the course of the year. It's important that I highlight what she does on a year-to-year basis. It's phenomenal work. So the police department responds to about 264 incidents related to domestic violence calls. Our advocate services between 100 and 150 victims and families annually. That's a lot of work. That includes court advocacy, referrals, and just support for these families. She also partners with the District Attorney's Office, the Spanish American Center, the YWCA, and Pathways for Change. In addition to that, she goes out and does home visits with a detective from our Detective Bureau. We have a specific detective that is a special victims detective, and they go out and do home visits. It's one secondary level of giving services on a proactive level from our advocate's point of view.
Questions from committee members? Councilor Boschman.
I've been on the council for 10 years. Has the trend been going down, or is it staying the same?
I think with the advocate, I would say that we're heading in the right direction. It's definitely still an issue that we deal with on a year-to-year basis, but I'm not seeing an increase overall year-to-year.
All right. I yield the floor.
Questions from anyone? Councilor Zarelli.
I'll just point out to that, and correct me if I'm wrong, certainly, but my perception of the issue is that there's very little that you guys can do before any incident occurs at all to prevent it from happening, because there's no way to tell who's going to commit a domestic violence infraction. What's important is that we are following up with the victims and making sure that these events don't reoccur after they've happened. So I'm not surprised to see that we can't get it close to zero, because unfortunately, there are always going to be scumbags out there who beat their wives, beat their kids. That's human nature, the dark side of human nature. But as long as the police department is responding appropriately to those calls and, getting services and getting justice for those victims, then I'm happy with what I'm seeing.
If I could just add, you made a great point about taking victims out of recurring situations. And that's the good stories that we see that our advocates doing on a day-to-day basis.
I yield the floor.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, did I hear him right? What word did he say about the people out there, scumbags?
I did indeed.
Okay.
That surprised me too, Councilor Boschman, but it's a free country for the most part. I do have one question, sort of piggybacking on what Councilor Zarella said. What sort of programs are this person involved with regarding sort of educating young men and women about domestic violence and the trauma that it causes survivors?
I'm glad you brought that up. Another thing that our advocate does is our advocate has office hours at Fitchburg State, where she's available just to be there on a proactive measure to kind of reach out to that young environment that you're talking about.
Here, it's important to educate young men, women, and non-binary individuals on the dangers of domestic violence. So I'm glad to hear we're taking a proactive approach to the issue. Do I have a motion? Chief Martin, I'm sorry, excuse me, Chief Martin.
I wanted to make one statement. The captain did a great job explaining what we do with these VAWA funds, but I think I brought it up in previous years. A few years ago, we partnered with Fitchburg State, and we did a historical study with a student at Fitchburg State that looked back on previous cases our domestic violence advocate had worked on, and we were exploring what type of impact it had with the victims. We're very fortunate to have Fitchburg State in our backyard and those type of collaborations. And the information we got from this study was what an impact that advocate made on that person's life, how they broke the cycle of domestic violence because of that relentless advocacy. This is a program that the captain said we've been fortunate for 15 years it's been paying the salary, been paying the fringes. There may be a coming a time that the feds or the state won't provide that, and we're going to be in a position where we can't even lose this position because we see what outcomes are happening, and that study was just eye-opening that Fitchburg State gave us, that the type of impact this advocate has on victims, and I shouldn't call them victims because they're survivors, what impact they had on the survivors and how that was able to break the chain of violence in their lives. So I'm glad to hear that you're going to continue to support this. I have no doubt in my mind that Chief Giannini and his command staff is going to keep going after this year after year. But just a huge shout out and kudos to our advocates here and across the state and what they do each and every day. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to accept.
Second.
There are a motion and a second. Seeing no objection, it is approved. Moving right on down to order number 008-25, order the City of Fitchburg hereby approves the expenditure of funds from the Department of Conservation and Recreation in the approximate amount of $50,000 for the installation of a concrete slab for the outdoor fitness park and fitness studio in Coolidge Park. We have Director Bunnell here with us today. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this first state earmark is for, I came a year and a half ago to get the fitness park installed at Coolidge Park. We got hung up a little bit my first summer here with the rain, which delayed the project, and then come to find out when we did put the project out for quote concrete, the cost of that had gone up a little bit. So we were fortunate enough to receive a state earmark for this to go out to bid and get put in this summertime. Hopefully the pad will be installed May, June. The equipment shortly thereafter, and we have a grand opening at Coolidge Park of our new fitness park sometime in late July, August.
Terrific. And questions from committee members? None.
Motion to approve?
One myself, please.
Sure.
You mentioned earmark. Can we have to thank the state legislature for that one?
Yes, I do. Rep. Kushmarek will be receiving a thank you.
Thank you, Rep. Kushmarek and Senator Cronin, for that earmark. Do we have a motion?
Make a
Motion to
motion to
approve.
accept. Yep.
All right, motion second. Seeing no objections, it is approved. Moving right down the line, 009-25, order the City of Fitchburg approves the expenditure of funds from the Department of Conservation and Recreation in the approximate amount of $40,000 for the installation of a new digital scoreboard at Nikitas Field. Director Bunnell.
So this is another one, Rep. Kushmarek and Senator Cronin. They helped the city out, and as much as we can, as the Parks and Recreation Department, help out the youth organizations in the parks that they use. Nikitas Field is used by our AYF football program, the community's football youth program. The scoreboard that is there is outdated. The connection from where the blockhouse is to the opposite side of the field, it doesn't always work right. And it was time for them to get an upgrade, and we were fortunate enough to receive another earmark to get this taken care of. Where we're working with AYF to design and probably relocate the scoreboard closer to the blockhouse facility, and anybody that uses that field will be able to use the new scoreboard.
Questions from committee members?
Motion to approve.
Second.
And I just
Oh,
want to
definitely. It's in my ward.
thank our hardworking delegation and Rep. Kushmarek and Senator Cronin for acquiring those funds, securing those. I have a motion a second. Hearing no objections, it is approved. Thank you, Director Bunnell.
Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
Final order of the day, 011-25. The City of Fitchburg hereby approves the transfer of $7,000 from the CDBG Year 49 Crocker Field Broad Street Entry Project to Year 50 Crocker Field Restoration Project. I am seeing Director Murphy is here to speak to us. No worries.
Hi. I think this one is pretty straightforward. So Crocker Field Committee did not need to spend the $7,000 on that project. So we are pushing it over to their Crocker Field Restoration Project, which I believe is benches.
Painting and benches.
Yes.
You have questions from
So
committee members?
they, as you know, they chunk these activities and we fund little pieces of them. So sometimes some of the money gets left and we just need to reprogram it. So this is sort of a cleanup activity here.
It's always nice to hear that we have extra money.
Yeah.
Question from committee members?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Seeing no objection, it is approved. That concludes our agenda for this meeting. The next regular meeting of the Fitchburg Finance Committee is scheduled for February 10th, I believe, 6 p.m. We have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Seeing no objections, we are adjourned.